Hey guys, Marauder AJ here once again, and we're going to be doing another look at Book of Boba Fett predictions. So, we're going to be looking back at the predictions I made in my first video, and we're going to be making a few more predictions based on what has happened so far. First off, if you would like this video and subscribe to our channel, that would be much appreciated. We have lots of cool and fun content for you guys coming in 2022. Thanks for the support, guys. So, let's look at these predictions I had in my previous video before the season started. The first off was the Sarlacc survival that I predicted. I pretty much thought, we're going to see the Tuskens dig Boba out of the Sarlacc or something like that, what we all sort of speculated, and that did end up happening. I sort of got that wrong though, because the Tuskens came and they took Boba, but they took him as a prisoner, and it was quite harsh for him for a little bit there, until he ultimately earned their respect. So I'll take half credit on that one, I guess. It was pretty much a given we were going to see the Sarlacc survival and Boba bursting out of it, and I really like how they copied the Patton Oswalt thing from Parks and Rec. That was a creative thing. I don't watch Parks and Rec, but that was a cool thing that they did there. So I guess that's like a half point if you're keeping score at home. Let's get into the second prediction I had, and it was talking about a war. Another kind of obvious prediction, nothing bold. Fennec mentions it in the trailer, and I think I predicted we'd be going to war with Crimson Dawn or something like that, and I guess I wasn't really right because I think it's the Pikes, and the Pikes are connected with Crimson Dawn and that sort of syndicate, but I'm going to take a 0 on this one. It was inevitable they were going to war. It was an obvious thing, but I kind of got who they were going to war with. I think I even mentioned Prince Shizor in there, but who knows? This one, this one's still in the balance. This is like Mythbusters. It still hasn't been busted or proven right, so that one to be determined. My next prediction is also hanging in the balance, and that was Cobb Vanth. I really, really want to see him as much as the next guy. I know you guys really want to see him too, I imagine. I am a Cobb Vanth stan. That is an obvious thing if you know me and you watch our channel. And we might see him. I don't know if Mando's going to show up and maybe sweet talk Boba Fett a little, like, oh, I know this guy, Cobb Vanth. Boba knows him also. Maybe he doesn't like him because he took his armor. Who knows? It was all fair game. Cobb didn't mean any harm by it. He didn't know who it belonged to, I guess. I mean, who doesn't know who Boba Fett is? But he didn't know. He took it from the Jawas. He needed it. He used to take his town back. Boba would respect that. So put me down for Cobb Vanth still, and it's going to happen. Just so you guys wait. The next prediction I had was Black Chrysanthemum. And this one, you guys know, we all leaked this like well over a year ago, and it was supposed to be for Mando Season 3, blah, blah, blah. It ended up being Book of Boba Fett. We didn't know that back then, and it happened. And it was really cool to see Chrysanthemum show up, and he's still in the show, and he's a big part of the show. He's going to be on Boba's team, and I think I even got that part right, which I didn't have any prior knowledge of. I kind of said that Chrysanthemum would be an enemy, and it'd be cool if he teamed up, and that worked out. I don't know. I got lucky with that one, I guess. So far, that's like 1.5 points, I guess, with a possible point to go with Cobb Vanth showing up. We'll see. And the next one was definitely a check mark with Din Djarin. Din Djarin will be showing up in the show to fight alongside Boba and help him out in any way he can. I'm assuming he'll be in chapters 5, 6, and 7 to finish out the season here, but who knows? It'd be kind of disappointing if he wasn't in 3 chapters. He shows up and just leaves? I don't know. So that should be interesting. Now, this next one was an absolute shot in the dark. It was Prince Shizor. That was my bold reach for the stars kind of prediction there. And it could still happen. It'd be really out of left field at this point, but it could happen. The Black Sun Syndicate could still be at large. Maybe they're in charge of the Pikes. Maybe they're working with Kira still. I didn't really predict Kira would show up, but I think Kira showing up is more likely than Prince Shizor at this point, and I think even that would be pretty wild. So overall, I guess that was like 2.5 predictions right. So I'll take that. I think it was pretty good. A lot of these were just really random. A lot of them were really obvious things. So with that, let's make a couple more predictions for the final 3 episodes and how this thing is going to end. So little things like, I don't think any main character is going to die. I don't think Boba will die. I don't think Fennec will die. Din Djarin obviously won't die because he has his own show. Chrysanthemum, who knows what's going to happen with him. I think everyone's going to be all right. Bottom line, I don't think there'll be any major deaths. A thing I've been holding on to for a couple weeks now is that, come on, the Pikes are not the villains of this show. If they are, I'm a little underwhelmed unless they really, really kind of step them up to be a little more intimidating. But we have that shot of them coming off the ship in chapter 3. And it was cool. They look cool, but I just kind of laugh because I'm like, they just don't scream main villain to me. I don't know. I think they're a red herring, not to use Jamie's fish pun there. I mean, it is a perfect one. But they indeed are a red herring. Someone else is going to be the big bad in the end, just like Moff Gideon in season 1 of Mando. He kind of just showed up as we knew the Empire were the bad guys, and then he kind of showed up and was the head of that Imperial Remnant, it seemed. So I think we're going to get something like that. And I guess I've always been under the impression that it should be someone that we know. I know I said Kira was a long shot to show up, but maybe it will be Kira. I think that would qualify as an internet breaking thing. When she showed up in the War of the Bounty Hunters comic, that kind of broke the Star Wars internet. So why wouldn't this? Live action Kira back again, now in charge of Crimson Dawn. I think she'd be pretty badass. Other than her, I can't really think of someone that would be the big bad to show up unless they do something new, and that kind of overlaps into Mando season 3, which is a good transition to my next prediction. The ending of this show will lead into Mando season 3. I don't know if that would be a cliffhanger or more so a kind of a bonus scene, extra credit scene that we got, like the Book of Boba Fett reveal back at the end of Mando season 2. I think we get something like Din Djarin on Takodana or something. I know that's my bold prediction here. Maybe we get Takodana. Imagine seeing Din talking to Maz Kanata, and that leads into season 3 of Mando. Like, she knows someone that's going to connect him to something, and bing, bang, boom, there we go. Also, please give us some Sidon at Thano somewhere in there, even as a background character. I know he was at Maz's castle in Force Awakens, but throw him in the back. Throw him on Mos Espa in the background. I don't know. That would be really cool. Another lofty prediction, we see Han Solo, and we see the Millennium Falcon on Tatooine. Or hey, maybe it would even be at that Maz's castle scene. I think it's going to happen. I don't know if this falls under leak or spoiler or whatever, but that is a little warning for you guys. But there's a thing on Twitter a few weeks ago that said there's going to be a big connection to the sequel trilogy in episode 6 or 7. I can't remember. I think it was the finale for episode 7. I don't know what that would be. I don't know if that would be Han showing up and he has little Ben with him. That would be a connection. I don't know if the Knights of Ren would show up. As we know, the Knights of Ren work with Crimson Dawn in the Crimson Reign comics that are going on right now. That would be really cool, and that could lead to some more Knights of Ren lore, which we are all dying for. Or it could be just something as simple as Takodana, like I mentioned. I don't know. One of those three things I think is pretty likely. And would make sense as a nice connection to the sequel trilogy that the person alluded to. So this was just a little recap of my predictions. I wanted to follow up on them now that we're halfway through the Book of Boba Fett. And I gave a couple sprinkles of predictions the rest of the way. Some of them still remain the same. Cobb Vanth, please. Thank you. Super excited to see Din Djarin team up with Boba and Fennec again and get the band back together. We have Chrysanthemum on their team. And that little teasy thumbnail I made is kind of holding true. So I don't feel so bad about making that like a clickbait thing. We are very much enjoying the Book of Boba Fett so far, and I can't wait to see where they go from here. Thanks for listening, guys, and thanks for the support. Please like and subscribe, and may the Force be with you.